Hermes just dropped their new complexion line, Hermes Plein, and today I got you a full day wear test and review. Since last year, I have been saying that most likely Hermes was going to come with complexion products, and here we have them. This is the Hermes Plein Air Complexion Collection, which comes with a natural enhancing complexion balm with SPF 30 PA+++. This is, to me, what it seems like a tinted SPF, perhaps a tinted moisturizer, but I'm leaning more after reading the ingredients, that is a tinted SPF, and also some powders. A Radiant Glow powder that I thought it was going to be more like a finishing powder, but looking at it in person, it seems like it's more of a highlighter, and also a Radiant Matte powder, which is a translucent setting powder. So as you can tell, nothing on my face, ready to try these products and give a full day wear test. Starting first with a natural enhancing complexion balm. This balm is made in Japan, and the first ingredient is water, then titanium dioxide, which is a mineral sunscreen. There's various different dimethacones, contains sodium hyaluronate, and in the middle of the ingredient deck there's also fragrance, which it doesn't surprise me because most of luxury brands, they put a little bit of fragrance on their products. Sometimes it's not a lot, sometimes it's a little, sometimes it dissipates, sometimes it doesn't. So we will see on this one right here. This product comes with 40 ml, 1.35 fluid ounces, which is a little bit more than the size of a foundation. Typically, a foundation comes with 1 fluid ounces, but again, to me, this is gonna be a little bit more either of a tinted SPF or a tinted moisturizer. Now this product, once again, if I haven't mentioned it, is made in Japan, and it comes with 12 different shades. I'm gonna put them right here. Now I know 12 different shades are not enough if we're talking about a foundation, but if we're talking about a tinted moisturizer or a tinted SPF, you know, it can be somewhat a stretch, but I really like the shade range in the sense that if you see the first row, it really is geared to those who have fair to light skin tones. The second row is more what it seems like for light to medium tan, and then the last row tan to rich skin tones. Obviously, I cannot talk for anybody else, only for my skin tone. By the way, I went ahead and picked up the shade 40 Chanvre. I will be leaving all the details where I found all of these products on the description box below, along with the links and the rest of my makeup and everything else that you want to know, my jewelry, my nail polish, and whatnot. Everything will be there. Okay, friends, let's take a peek on the inside of this balm. And the shelf life is of 6 months, which you may think 6 months only. Really, just 6 months. And that's why I'm thinking that perhaps this is more targeted, kind of like an SPF, because SPFs usually have that shelf life, 6 months. Okay, so here's the packaging. Chanvre 40 medium beige with golden warm. The tube bears a colored band that makes it easy to identify the shade. The cap is engraved with the iconic Ex Libris. The complexion balm offers adjustable coverage with each of the 12 translucent shades in the range, adapting to 2 or 3 skin tones. The complexion becomes instantly even and translucent, elevates the skin with a weightless veil of sheer color and a radiant natural finish that lasts for an impeccable 8 hours. The skin is hydrated, enhanced, and protected. A mineral-only sunscreen provides SPF 30 PA+++. This complexion balm is non-comedogenic and dermatologically tested. Now, if we're talking about applying SPF, definitely you will need more than this. You know, usually it's a teaspoon, but I just want you to first see if this shade matches my skin tone. By the way, if you're new here to my channel, I do have a light to medium skin tone. My foundation matches, they will be on the description box below. I do also have signs of aging, fine lines. I always say I'm on my 4th floor, meaning that I'm over 40 years old. I do have enlarged pores on this area right here, redness. This is all caused by sun damage, wear your SPF and reapply it is so super important. And also I do have dry skin on the perimeters of my face, and then here where I have my enlarged pores, it tends to be a little bit more between normal and combination. So that's just for you to kind of have an idea of who is reviewing this product. Seems to be a little bit lighter for me, but because you have the titanium dioxide, I'm thinking that, you know, you see that kind of like white cast. So let's see if it actually meshes with my skin as I apply it. I don't have any primer right now. And yes, it does have a slight scent. It actually reminds me quite a bit to the scent of the lipsticks. Its fragrance, created by Christine Nagel, blends the delicacy of arnica with sandalwood and green tea. This is a natural enhancing complexion balm that takes care of your skin. It is formulated with hyaluronic acid complex for long-lasting hydration and evening primrose oil and baikal skullcap to help protect the skin from external aggressors and pollution. There you have it. Now on this side of my face, I'm going to be using a pore minimizer primer. I usually use the Tatcha Silk Canvas, but I have been enjoying quite a bit the Vanish Airbrush primer, but I'm not going to use it all over the rest of my face, but just right here where I have my enlarged pores, just so we can see if it's doing any favors to my enlarged pores and whatnot. By the way, I have done my skincare early in the morning. Right now it's a little bit past 8 o'clock. I'm actually a little bit late. It's because I went ahead and did my hair, and anytime that I do my hair, oh my goodness, it takes some time. So right here, that's where I'm applying the primer, and this much more. As far as consistency goes, it's not super creamy, it's not liquidy, it does have some density to it. It definitely feels creamy to touch, but wow, that looks so light, right now that I apply so much. I'm gonna spread it with the Sonia G Jumbo Base. And there you have it. I think it actually matches my skin tone. You know, after it kind of like starts settling, I think the SPF itself is just kind of like, doesn't oxidize, but it doesn't look as when you apply it right away that you can actually see that trace of SPF, that whitish tone. You cannot see it after, you know, you go ahead and blend it in. Now, as far as how radiant it is, again, I do have dry skin for the most part. And to me, it doesn't look like super radiant. Honestly, it's giving me more of like a natural finish. Yeah, just a natural finish. Honestly, I cannot see any type of radiance to my skin. It's comfortable though and very thin. It's not super heavy, but I'm just gonna put a little bit more where I have my redness. And by the way, I do have a ton of freckles. I do have some sun spots here and there. You see when I apply it, do you see how bright and light it looks? But if you see the rest of my face, although it still looks bright, I feel like it actually blends with the skin as you start applying it. Let's continue with the rest of my makeup. I'm going to be using my Chanel Color Corrector. I'm using a Permabrass concealer brush. Now let's go into the Radiant Matte Powder. Now if you look into the back, it says that the shade is 01 Nuage, and it also says that this is a translucent powder, luminous matte. Okay, so that's interesting. It's made in Italy and it has a shelf life of 12 months. Beauty embraces the open air with a radiant matte powder, a soft, silky finish powder that mattifies the complexion with a translucent glow. Its shade is universal. It comes with a nice size mirror, and I do film in natural light. I only have this backlight right here that is pointing towards my backdrop, not to my face. Okay, my friends. Now this product has a very soft floral fragrance, and in terms of ingredients, this product has zinc, dimethicone. It also has some emollient ingredients, including glycerin, caprylyl glycol. It also contains Oryza sativa, which is rice, and Morus alba barric extract, and also it does have fragrance at the very, very end. Okay, this feels very, very soft. So yeah, it looks whitish, but let's see. Okay, usually I don't set my under eyes, but I'm gonna do it this time. This is a Wayne Goss airbrush. And for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna set the area that I don't have any primer, so just this area right here. Although I have to tell you that I don't feel as I need to set this complexion balm. It actually feels pretty much as if it had dried, but anyhow, I'm just gonna go ahead and set right here because this is the area. If I break a sweat, it will be right over here. It's very blurring. It actually blurred my enlarged pores. It's kind of looking like this side right here. Hopefully you're able to see it, but see that? It didn't took much of the radiance of the balm, but it actually kind of like softened it up. Kind of remind me a little bit to how soft it looked, kind of like that porcelain kind of doll kind of look that the Gucci setting powder gives me, kind of like that. Okay, for bronzer, my beat up SISLEY bronzer, and I'm using a Sonia G Niji Pro. You know, before I continue with the bronzer, let's go to the next product, the Radiant Glow Powder. This is supposed to be a second skin powder with a satin glow. By the way, all of these compacts are refillable with the same Unicard. And this is the shade 02 Mirage, 12 months of shelf life with 8.5 grams of product made in Italy. Radiant Glow Powder Mirage, a fine silky powder that enhances the complexion with a luminous radiance. Its golden pink shade is universal. And this is more of like just a regular pressed powder. It's not like Permabrass. Permabrass is a baked gelée formulation. See, here's the difference. And Permabrass looks a little bit more brassy, a little bit more cooler in tone than 02 Mirage. Shelf life is the same. Now the difference in grams is this one right here, Permabrass, is 7 grams, 8.5 grams for 02 Mirage, and both of them, they are made in Italy. I'm gonna swatch it. It feels soft. And I'm gonna swatch Permabrass, which is one of my favorite highlighters in my collection, on my middle finger, so that way you can really see the shade. Here is the new one, 02 Mirage, and this is Permabrass. Definitely Permabrass has a lot more intensity. It seems like Mirage is just a little bit more soft, like a timid version from Permabrass. And in terms of like the shade, Permabrass is a little bit, again, a little bit more on the brassy side, a little bit more cooler without being too cool, while Mirage seems to have a little bit more warmth to it, a little bit more of like kind of like a champagne-y beige undertone to it. Going with a Refer 20 brush. And I wanted to first show you how it looks with nothing on the skin, like no bronzer. That's why I made a stop on the bronzer right here. This is definitely not a finishing powder. It does give a very, I mean, the glow is there. The glow is definitely there. And as far as ingredient goes, this product has squalane, it also has glycerin, it does have fragrance. The fragrance is super faint. Of all three products, very faint, to the point that I cannot smell them at all. It's kind of like, okay, just to put it on and then pretty much gone. Yeah. And it also has that same common ingredient, which is the Morus albas bark extract. Looks so pretty. Nice, pretty champagne tone. Okay, now let's go ahead and put it on this side right here. It's not creamy, but it's more soft, a little bit more emollient than the translucent setting powder. For blush, I'm gonna go with Hermes 23 Rose Blush, and I'm using the Hermes Blush Brush. I like the way that it layers the blush with the highlighter. It makes it look even more natural. And if I go back to the highlighter, I mean, I can always reapply more if I want to. Okay, let's finish with the bronzer. Now I'm going with Chantecaille Giraffe Eyeshadow Quad. And I'm gonna go to this matte shade right here. I'm using a Refer 16 brush. Refer 02 brush. Taking it on the lower lash line. Smith 253 brush. For lip pencil, I'm gonna go to Natasha Denona and the shade Calla. And for lipstick, Hermès in the shade Rose Encens. I wanna add a little bit of shine with Hermès Rose Nymphea. Just a pinky tone. This is more like a balm. Oh yeah. Makeup is completely done, and I have to say that the Natural Enhancing Complexion Balm, it actually looks really nice. It looks super natural. Honestly, super natural. I thought it was gonna have a little bit more radiance, but no, I don't see a lot of radiance from this product. And as far as the translucent powder goes, it actually very nicely blurred my enlarged pores. From this side to this side. This side I do have the primer. This side right here, they look nice and blurred. I actually really like the translucent powder. Now I want to see obviously how it acts throughout the day, if it really kind of helps a little to keep the oils at bay. I don't have an oily skin, but today happens to be that in my area is going to be a little hot. It's gonna be over 80 degrees, which it hasn't been like that for some time right now. And by the way, I do live in California. It's not a humid climate. It's more of like a dry climate, not super dry. I live by the coastline, but it's not humid, and it's not as dry, say, as by the mountain. So anyhow, friends, to me, Everything is looking really nice. I really like the highlighter too. It looks very, very lovely. But before I go out and about for my day, I just purchased KAYALI Vanilla 28. I have smelled it before. I had a very small, tiny little kind of like sample bottle. And I don't know, one day I was looking through my Sephora app and it showed up in stock. And I know this one right here is so hard to get your hands on it. And I had been enjoying it quite a bit. It's very sweet. I mean, it's vanilla. I will say it will be perfect for layering, but you know, just want to give it a go. It smells very beautiful, very nice and warm, but without being way too sweet. And talking about layering, I have from this Chantecaille fragrance discovery set the fragrance Le Wild, which is a gardenia to rose fragrance, and I love those type of fragrances, so I'm gonna layer it too, because why not? Yeah, just to have a little bit of fun. Okay, my friends, I'm going out and about for my day, and I will be giving you a couple check-ins. Hey friends, here to a quick check-in of this complexion base product from Hermès, and it's a very warm day, and right now I turn off the car so that way I can do the check-in, and it's so hot. It's over 80 degrees, and I have to say that, I mean, I haven't been sweating a lot, like, so you can tell some of my concealer is a little bit gone already. I reapplied lipstick. This is another, and this one is from SISLEY in, I think it's called Rosewood, sheer rosewood. It will be in the description box below. I reapplied that one, and I think it's holding up really well. And definitely that translucent setting powder, as you can tell right here, it maintained that blurring effect on my cheek right here, even more so than this side right here. And I don't see, I mean, there's a very little amount of creasing right here, tiny amount that I don't see right here on this side. Other than that, everything else is looking really nice. Everything is, yeah, everything is still in place. Here to my final check-in, I decided to come outside because inside my kids are there, and then the side where I actually film my videos gets really dark at this time. Right now it's already 6 o'clock, and yeah, it just gets dark. And then I do have lights, but I don't know how to mess up the settings on my camera so that I can film, you know, this late. And yeah, and yeah, I need to figure that out. But anyhow, at least you're seeing it right here on natural light, and this is how Hermès products are looking like on my face. Sorry, no lipstick, no lip balm, but it's okay. I'm so impressed. I feel like this balm, call it tinted SPF because that's how I feel about it, looks gorgeous. I feel that on this area right here where I do have more of like a combination skin, it really looks a little bit more radiant. Not dewy though, radiant, just radiant. But here where I have the driest part of my skin, right here is already being removed, you know, from eating and all of that. And right here, it looks natural, very natural. I really love also how it doesn't emphasize my enlarged pores, although I have to say that right here I use the translucent setting powder, and I think that's helping a lot too at blurring. It kind of reminds me, I think I mentioned it at the beginning, to the Gucci setting powder, not in texture, not when you swatch it, but rather when you apply it, how nice blurring it is and how it leaves that kind of porcelain doll kind of effect, just like that. The primer is amazing. As you can tell, it blurs my enlarged pores so easily. Just super impressed about it. And then as far as the translucent setting powder underneath my eyes, so you can tell, you know, concealer is already gone right here. It's so windy. It was hot today. It was past 80 degrees, but also windy. As you can, I mean, I think you can hear the wind right there. And I have allergies, so I tend to wrap right here. So the concealer is right here, off and off right here. but right here where it has remained the concealer, as you can tell, it's not creasing, and I think that has to do a lot with the translucent setting powder that, by the way, it didn't let me a white cast. And talking about white cast, when I apply that tinted balm or tinted SPF, however you want to call it, right, and we saw this kind of like white cast. I think it was from the titanium dioxide, because after all these hours, if you see right here between my neck and my jawline right here, there's not like it doesn't look off, right? It looks like a shade match. Definitely for me during summer times I may go with a shade darker, but this shade is working really good for me, and I really love the performance, the longevity. I mean, I apply all these products at around 8:30 in the morning, and look at this, how everything's looking like. It doesn't look like a mess. It's not, here are my smile lines, and it's not, you see right there, there's no gathering either. It looks, to me, it looks really nice. It looks really nice. I really like all these products. As far as the highlighter goes, it's still here. Here is where I apply it underneath the blush, right? And it gives a subtle glow, very natural. While here is on top, and as you can tell, the highlighter is there, but it's not a, you know, stripe or, you know, a patch. Yeah, I'm really enjoying these products. As far as going back to the balm, I know I'm going back and forth because I'm thinking the shade range, there are only 12 shades, but out of the 3 rows, I see that they cater for fair, light, medium tan, deep, not rich but deep. I think they have done a good job, because let's be, you know, let's keep this in mind when we're talking about tinted SPF or tinted moisturizers. Most of the time they are very stretchable because they are a little bit sheer, not too sheer, because as you can tell, I mean, you can still see my freckles peeking through, but there's some coverage right here. So I will have to say they still will need to work on the shade range, but in general I feel that the shade range, at least it caters different groups. Does it make sense? It's not like it's only the light skin tones, it's only, you know, light to medium. It's catering various skin tones in that stretchable way. So anyhow, my friends, I'm really in love of these products. I feel that they all look so beautiful. I would love to know from you if you have tried any of these products, and if you have done so, please let's enrich the conversation on the comment section down below by mentioning what type of skin you have. Like, for example, mine is dry skin. You have combination skin, oily skin, the shade that you're using, how you're liking them. If say you have a deeper complexion and you got the translucent setting powder, does it leave a white cast? Again, let's enrich the conversation on the comment section down below. Also, let me know if these products are going into your wish list and where you're at it. And if you haven't done so yet, I would invite you to subscribe to my channel. Make sure you ring that post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads, and come and follow me on my Instagram. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, share it with family and friends. And until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.